welcome you to the 2025 Stumberg Venture Competition final round. It is a particularly exciting year because we are celebrating 10 years of student Before we begin, I'd like to recognize San Antonio, once known as Yanawana, as a homeland of Native peoples past and present, and to honor their enduring presence and stewardship of this land. Please join me in a round of applause thanking the Stumberg family. Thank you for your steadfast support of student innovation and Trinity University. I'd also like to acknowledge that we're not the only ones celebrating a 10-year moment. San Antonio's Startup Week, our friends in the startup community. We're excited to be a featured event as part of San Antonio's Startup Week. And they are celebrating their deep roots along with us. So we're excited that they are here, they're our guests, and we're one and the same. We're working together to build this ecosystem. All right, so for tonight, here's how the evening's gonna go. You're gonna be hearing from 4 teams tonight. They'll have 8 minutes to pitch to the judges. They'll be standing over here. And after their 8 minutes are up, the judges, all in front here, are gonna take 5 minutes to ask them some questions to clarify, make sure that everybody's on the same page of what they're saying. After that, the judges are gonna take 2 minutes to input their scores and make their final decision on that particular team. During that time, so there's gonna be a pause between each team. And during that time, I invite you to take your own notes so that you have something to talk to the teams about during the reception after the event. I often get the question how teams are selected, and it's a little bit of a trick for my audience because they have to trust us on some of this. 30% of their evaluations are done in advance of this evening. They've already submitted some written materials to the judges to help flesh out the picture of their venture and give them a better sense, because 8 minutes isn't quite enough time to like give you the full perspective of it. So 30% of their scores are based on pre-submitted materials. An additional 30% is based on what you're gonna see tonight, the Q&A and the presentation itself. And then the final 40% takes both of those things into consideration as the judges evaluate market opportunity, distinctive competence, management capability, financial understanding, and investment potential. And that's the final 40%. So that's the total and how the teams are evaluated. And so you'll get to celebrate the winning team a little bit later. Before I turn over to our MC for the evening, let's give a big round of applause for the Center for Innovation Entrepreneurship team, not me, my team, Liz, Elsa, Chad, Sherry, Matt, and our student interns, Antonia, Ash, Gabe, Melina, Sammy, and Yvonne, for their tireless work in prepping for tonight and getting everything set up for the teams and for you all to have a wonderful evening. To kick off tonight's festivities, I'm now going to turn the floor over to Trinity alum Valerie Alexander, class of 1990, to MC the evening. Valerie is a speaker, an author, an advocate for workplace happiness, inclusive leadership, and advancement of women. You may know her from her TED Talk, How to Outsmart Your Unconscious Bias, which has over 1 million views and is now used in training programs worldwide. She has spoken at Fortune 500 companies, NASA, and even the US Naval Academy, sharing research, humor, and real stories to inspire change. She has written several books, including the bestseller Happiness as a Second Language, and before that, she wore many hats as a securities lawyer, an investment banker, a tech executive, a Hollywood screenwriter, and startup founder. Today, she lives just outside of Atlanta with her husband and their dog, Vegas. We're grateful to her for joining us at San Antonio Startup Week and for emceeing tonight's Stumberg Venture Competition.
I'm so excited to be back on campus during San Antonio Startup Week and to MC the Stumberg Venture Competition. Join me in thanking the Stumberg family by honoring the legacy of the late Louis Stumberg San Antonio businessman, civic leader, and food industry pioneer. In 1946, he co-founded Patio Mexican Foods, bringing delicious frozen Tex-Mex to households nationwide. Mr. Stumberg was a devoted member of Trinity's Board of Trustees and served in leadership roles in San Antonio, in the Chamber of Commerce, United Way, the Alamo Area Council of Boy Scouts, and many others. He also served as mayor of Terrell Hills and as a civilian aide to the Secretary of the Army. Louis Stumberg gave generously of his time and resources, helping to shape both Trinity and San Antonio's civic and business life. His legacy of vision and service lives on through this competition, now celebrating its 10th year of supporting bold student entrepreneurs. And speaking of entrepreneurs, our entrepreneurs are not only innovative, they're deeply engaged in the Trinity community. They participate in football, track, ultimate frisbee, club volleyball, and soccer. As a Trinity soccer alumni, I particularly appreciate that one. They serve as residence assistants and admissions tour guides. They are active in dozens of clubs, from real estate and fishing to Trinity Women in Science and Technology, the Bengal Lancers, Alpha Chi Lambda Honor Council, AMA, Care to You, and Rotaract. They also represent a wide range of majors, including accounting, business analytics, communications, computer science, creative writing, engineering science, finance, marketing, and neuroscience. This final round is the culmination of 10 months of diligent work, research, discovery, and pivots. Oh Lord, pivots. Over the summer, through the Trinity Accelerator, most of these teams attended hours of educational workshops, multiple networking events, and worked full-time on their ventures. We can't wait for you to see how far they've come. We're also excited that Frost Bank has continued their partnership with Trinity again this year in a show of support of the startup community and of student innovation. Thank you, Frost Bank.
A San Antonio shop owner was getting calls from hackers trying to drain her bank account. But Frost was on it. When they couldn't reach her, they drove over to what? To stop the call? What the fraud?
The scammers tried to clean her out.
So Frost handled the scandal.
Yep, and now business is blooming.
Got him!
Got him good.
Hello everyone, I'm Clay Jones, the Region President for Frost Bank here in San Antonio. And I should mention the proud father of a first-year Trinity University student. On behalf of everyone at Frost, I want to say how pleased we are to once again sponsor the Louis H. Stumberg Venture Competition. At Frost, we like to say that we help make people's lives better, and with our support of the Stumberg competition, it's doubly true. We're helping students learn the value and rewards of entrepreneurialism and hopefully giving them support as they lead the next generation of startup businesses. At the same time, we're also doing our part to foster economic development in the San Antonio area, because our communities can only grow and prosper when we have strong economic development. So thank you for letting us be a part of this wonderful event, and congratulations to the finalists. We would love to see you all become successful account holders at Frost. Pause up. Go Tigers.
Please join me in welcoming our 6 incredible judges, leaders whose expertise and insight will inspire and challenge our teams tonight. Dr. Luz Cristal Glanchai is a scientist, entrepreneur, and champion for getting more girls involved in entrepreneurship. In science and technology, she's the founder of Venture Lab, a nonprofit reaching young people ages 5 to 18, and the best-selling author of Venture Girls. Her work has been featured from the Wall Street Journal to the Today Show and South by Southwest Interactive, just to name a few. We are especially excited to welcome her back. Cristal was the pioneering director of Trinity's own Center of Innovation and Entrepreneurship. Dawn LaFrida started her career waiting tables at Denny's at 16 and bought her first restaurant at just 23. Today, she owns 65 Denny's across 7 states, making her San Antonio's largest female employer with over 2,500 employees. She's been honored everywhere from Forbes to the Human Rights Campaign, appeared on Entrepreneur Elevator Pitch, and was featured in the recent documentary, Show Her the Money. Beyond business, Dawn is deeply active in philanthropy, and most importantly, she's mom to twin sons, Cruz and Connor. And they're both seniors at my husband's alma mater, University of Southern California. Woo woo! Justin McMorrow, Trinity class of '93, has spent over 25 years in educational technology, founding companies, leading startups, and now serving as CEO of Human Capital Education, a firm helping colleges grow enrollment. His company, Ellesmere Education, is a certified B Corp, showing his commitment to both impact and profitability. Justin stays closely tied to Trinity through the Board of Visitors and our entrepreneurship programs. And when he's not building companies, he's giving back in his Denver community. Eric Stumberg is the CEO and co-founder of Tango Internet, which he launched in 2002 to deliver Wi-Fi solutions for outdoor hospitality. With earlier roles at Dell and Zachary, he's combined business leadership with a passion for service. Eric has dedicated decades to community work, serving on nonprofit boards, supporting Texas parks, and engaging in faith and family life. He and his wife, Carrie, also manage a family ranch in Kerrville, where they're raising their son, Erickson. Sandra Velasquez is the founder of Nopalera, a modern Mexican beauty and lifestyle brand that has taken the industry by storm. You may recognize her from Shark Tank, where she famously turned down 2 offers, standing in her worth. Today, her brand is expanding into Ulta stores across the US and Mexico. She's been a finalist for the Business of Beauty Global Awards, won 6 pitch competitions, and completed accelerators with Stanford and Morgan Stanley. Before launching Nopalera, she was the lead singer and guitarist of the Latin alternative band Pistolera, proving creativity fuels her work in every way. And Graham Weston, a legendary entrepreneur and venture capitalist, best known as the co-founder and CEO of Rackspace, which he grew into a leader in cloud computing. Beyond building companies, he's a driving force for San Antonio's growth. Through the 80/20 Foundation, Graham invests in nonprofits with big impact, including Students Plus Startups, which connects college students from across the country to internship opportunities in San Antonio. He's also behind the Weston Center downtown and countless efforts to make San Antonio a place where entrepreneurs and startups can thrive. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to all of our 6 judges. Questions for all of our teams tonight, but please hold them for the reception. The Q&A period is for the judges. Additionally, in an effort to minimize distractions, guests are asked not to enter the auditorium during presentations. So if you have to step out, you'll be invited to wait until the 2-minute judges deliberation period to return after each pitch. To kick off tonight's exciting event, we have an update from the journey of one of the final teams, Madhouse Games, followed by our first competing team.
Hi, I'm Claire.
And I'm Grayson, and together we're Madhouse Games.
We just wanted to make a video, in case you didn't realize, to explain why we're not there at the competition today. But first we want to talk a little bit about why we joined in the first place. So in case you missed the seed round, Grayson and I made Madhouse Games, which was a company dedicated to making scientific board games, with the goal of making science seem more approachable and kind of sparking that interest in people that played to try to pursue scientific knowledge on their own outside of the game. And while we still really believe in this goal, ultimately it didn't really work out and make sense for us to come back to the competition, which Grayson will talk about in a little bit. But first, we're going to talk about what we did over the summer and the strides and accomplishments that we made while participating in Stumberg.
Yeah, so over the summer, we actually had this amazing opportunity to participate in the accelerator. During this program, we kind of learned a lot about the back end of entrepreneurship. So we spent the summer doing customer interviews to really make sure that our board game was meeting its target audience and we were giving them what they wanted. And then additionally, we also learned about like the financial side, the marketing side, and all the other hats that entrepreneurs have to wear. One of the really cool things we did this summer is actually go to a board game convention. Claire and I took the second version of our board game to California, where we had people who had produced the board game themselves, used other companies, other developers and things like that, playtest our board game and give us feedback, and it really set us on a very strong direction. Unfortunately, we decided to not continue with the Stumberg competition because we both had graduated and started the next chapter in our lives. I'm coming to you live from Kentucky, go Wildcats, as I started my PhD, and Claire has started working her 9 to 5. So unfortunately, the timing for us to collaborate and continue to work on this venture is just not at this moment, but we hope to do it in the future. So be on the lookout for a board game from us.
Yeah, and on top of all of that, we really wanted to give a shout out to all of our former competitors who are still in the competition. So with that in mind, good luck to everyone in the competition. And as Grayson said, hopefully this isn't the last time you'll see Madhouse Games.
You guys have been working so hard and y'all got this. See you later.
Bye.
Kwang! Where are you going?
Hey Milan, I'm going to a Stumberg competition today.
With that?
What you
Are
mean?
you serious? Oh my
What's
gosh,
wrong?
bro. Just because you're a comp-sci major doesn't mean that you don't know how to dress up. This is why people keep telling you to find a girlfriend so that she can teach you how to dress up. So you see, judges, the wardrobe struggle is real. Imagine standing in front of your closet and feel like there's nothing to wear. And without any personalized outfit guidance and no girlfriend, you might end up like that. And this is when Colibri comes in. Oh my god, Quan! You look amazing! Right, everyone?
Well, thanks to Colibri. And as an experienced user, let me explain to you how it works. So there's 3 simple steps. First, all you need to do is input your body measurement so that Colibri can generate a mini version of you, and to make sure that every piece of clothing will fit on you. Second is to scan your closet. For example, I can scan this shirt to put it into the Colibri inventory. Finally, all you need to do is select the occasion, and then Colibri will generate outfit recommendation based on what you already have in the inventory, and also from the external suggestion for pieces that you are missing. And this is what I meant by saying mini you. After you input your body measurement, we will generate a mini version of you, so you can just play around with it by adding clothes from your inventory and also try on the outfit recommendation.
So just imagine this, standing in front of your closet, trying outfit after outfit, but nothing feels right, and you're already late. That is a frustration, and that frustration is driven to a revolution. The virtual trial market has been growing by 26.4% annually and is expecting to reach $39 billion market by 2030. Gen Z refuse to buy clothes without being able to visualizing that piece on themselves first. And a static product photo, I don't think it solves anything. Colibri operates in the outfit planner subsection. That is a $150 million market and is set to triple by 2033. We are targeting on college students and young professionals. That is a market of $45 million of people who are building their professional wardrobe, preparing for interviews, and asking the question every morning, what should I wear? Our goal is to target 2% of this market. It is ambitious, but it's achievable. And this is a roadmap to our multi-million dollars business. So you might ask, why Colibri? What makes us so different from other platforms such as Stitch Fix or Styleworks? While these do offer occasion-based suggestions and wardrobe management, we expand on this and offer 3D visualizations with personalized fit analysis. To put it simply, we believe that everyone has their own beauty and it can be projected in different ways, and we want to be a part of it. Most styling apps would push you into a trend or fit you to a standard. We would want to do the opposite. We want to learn from you. We want to learn from your colors, your body shape, and your personal style, and get smarter with every input. So the more you use Colibri, the better recommendation it will give you. And we're here not to change you. We're here to help you to express your individuality. We didn't build Colibri based on our assumption. We went out and talked to real users. Over the past few months, we have more than 100 interviews with college students and young professionals. And here's what we discovered. 90% of them have unused clothes, a closet full of things that they never touch. Typically, they spend 30 to 60 minutes getting ready, trying on 3 to 5 different outfits. And this stress keeps multiplying every single time, before interviews, your first dates, and very important events, like your child's birthday. What they want is something that is smart and contextual suggestion, something that can maximize in the existing wardrobe, that is personal, it's not just generic style, and something that can help them to enjoy their morning coffee without any stress. When we showed them Colibri, one user said they love the idea and let them know when it goes live. And 80% of them say that they would download immediately.
And this is a question that everyone here been waiting for. How does Colibri make money? So the main revenue comes from subscription. We offer freemium models that allow users to create their mini you and also get outfit recommendation. However, with the premiums, there's unlimited items that the user can put in the inventory, no cooldown, and unlimited customization based on their reference, such as theme color or dress code. We also have revenue from affiliate commission. As I previously talked about, Colibri going to generate outfit recommendation based on the external source. This is where we put ads and link to the other brand. If users decide to buy a product, we can pay 5 to 15% based on the value of the product. And we have contact to Nike, H&M, and Lululemon about their referral program, and they say they're really excited about our company. And to make it simply, I'm kind of nerdy with numbers, so let me explain you about like how the revenue models work. I mean, it's too much math here, so with 10,000 active users, we actually gain above $150,000. And if we're scaling that up to 50,000 active users, or 100,000 active users, it's gonna be $1.46 million. So the models work, the demand is there, we just need to execute. So let our achievements speak for themselves. We secured $5,000 from Stumberg Competition seed round. Later then, we partnered with DVRK to pilot our technology with their volunteer customer to understand more about the customer want and needs. This early traction enabled us to raise an additional $10,000 investment funding from a private investor. And currently, we actively partner with Whenever Outlier to run our pilot program to collecting actionable insight to keep refining our product and to prove the market fit. And what do we do after the Stumberg competition? We have a clear and tactical roadmap for the next 6 months. From month 1 to 3, we focus on enhancing our 3D visualization based on the brand suggestion, and then we expect to release our app on both iOS and Android platform.
For month 3 to 6, with the foundation being built, we plan to expand to 5,000 active users by using 3 key channels. First is college ambassadors from at least 10 universities. The second is micro-influencers on both TikTok and Instagram. And finally, our referral incentives.
And we also expect to transfer from the brand testing pilot into the revenue agreement with them. And we hope to gain addition 5 to 6 other brands.
Hi, my name is Milan. I'm the co-founder and managing director of Colibri. Since 7th grade, I've launched several businesses, and one of the most successful ones would be my camera ventures that help me earn more than $5,000 every year. These entrepreneurship skills will help me to grow Colibri and build a more solid plan.
Hi, my name is Kwang, and I'm also co-founder, data analysis, and the software engineering of the Colibri. I have a lot of experience creating mobile app during the time studying at Trinity University, And the most successful one that I used to create with my friend is the dating app for Trinity University students.
Thank you.
So I was going to say I love your presentation. I feel like I would use your app. I think I'm not in your age demographic. I'm a little older. I had, I guess, a question as far as your management team, because I am wondering, I use some of these apps. I've used Alto, which does use AI to kind of scan your body, and you can actually like try on the clothes. Who on your team, or are you planning to get someone on your team that kind of has expertise in the fashion industry? Because I was wondering, like, when you're making your recommendations or the sizing of different brands is off sometimes, like, how are you going to address that?
So initially, we have already contact with Elsa since she has more connection with fashion students, and that's how we will integrate with information that we can receive from real life people, rather than just additionally with online researching, since that there are a lot of cultural difference in exchange throughout different countries, different age group, and different aesthetics. And that's how we're planning to imply that on our app. Thank you for your question.
Thank you.
Okay, I have a couple of questions. I loved your pitch, thank you. I wanted to ask you how the beta test went. I didn't see any photos in the initial deck, but I saw that there was a beta test.
So for the beta test, we are not publishing it in Android or iOS, but we send it directly to our brand that we partner with, and then they will like run it for the volunteer customer if they're willing to do it, and they will be the one who run it first and give us like the result.
I also wanted to ask you just a little bit under the financial viability. I've been involved in other ventures similar to this, and do you really feel that the $25,000 can take you to the next level where you need to go for all of the computer work that needs to be done and analysis around this?
Well, I will say that most of the coding work is I'm doing with no salary. And the only thing that I've been struggling with, the coding part, is the animation. So we want to make it more personalized, more close to the user. So that is our difference than Alta app. I tried that one. It's really AI heavily, so we don't want that to be in this situation. So I think the only cost that we will spend on is probably marketing and to enhance the visualization of the app.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hi guys, great presentation. I saw the financials quickly. How much of the business is dependent on the subscription versus the referral fees from the brands? And do you feel like you have enough money to go after the referral fees from a marketing perspective?
So can you repeat the last part again?
Yeah, the last part is, you know, what's more important to drive the growth? Is it the referral fees or the subscriptions?
So at the beginning, I mean, our app don't have that much user, so it's gonna base most on the referral. Since user need time to test on our app, to try on it, so we initially want to publish for free to user. So most of the revenue gonna come from affiliate. And is that answer your question?
Yeah, thanks. And how did you come up with the name, Calibri?
So at first, I wasn't planning to name anything that's like that. But then when it comes to like, when I think of, this is such a small situation, but it can make such big impacts when it comes to like important events like this. And so I was thinking maybe do an animal. And I was looking for something that represents joy, happiness, and colorful. And then I came up with the hummingbird, but then for legal action, I couldn't name it hummingbird. So I have to change it into another language, which is in both French and Spanish, it can also be colibri. That means hummingbird.
I think there's a good chance that one of the problems that retailers have is returns. That is, the return rates are just crazy high, and they really drive the cost of online clothing especially. Do you think that there could be a possibility that the actual merchants, those websites, would pay you to use your app in order to try to reduce returns?
I would say that is one of the problems that we're trying to solve, because with sizing being hassle, we don't want you to buy it and returning it. So that's why we create Colibri. That is one of the reasons why we create Colibri.
Yeah, so basically, I just feel like I return way too much clothes that I already bought online, and that's one of the biggest problems, because I don't want to waste my time, and that's why we initially created too. So by inputting your body measurement, that is how we want to reduce that amount of rating of returning an item that you purchase.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
There we go. Hello everyone, my name is Martine, and I am the marketing manager for Divvy, the solution to group expenses. So one day, after a Divvy meeting, Aiden, Sam, and I, all members of Divvy, went out to a restaurant, to the movies, and to get ice cream. We just called it a team bonding exercise. It was mostly just hanging out though. And when we went, Aiden picked up the tab for the restaurant. I had paid for the movies earlier, but the issue arises that when we went to go get ice cream, Aiden and I paid for ourselves, and Aiden ended up paying for Sam, because Sam forgot his wallet. He doesn't always do it, just usually. And so the question at the end of the day became, who owes who what? We're a friend group that likes to pay each other back, but it's not as easy as just taking what everyone paid and dividing it by 3. And this is just a very interpersonal example, right? This is just 3 regular guys. But what we are seeing across the United States is that millions of Americans are engaging with what is called group economics. People are splitting costs, they're paying each other back, they're paying as a group. As you can see by that slide behind me, based off of research done at Harvard University, we are seeing that the cost burdens for rental living is increasing across all income groups. Everyone is feeling the effects, and the natural response to this is group economics. You'll see it for roommates and friend groups, but even for larger things like organizations and fundraisers, people are getting more used to paying each other back. Again, due to the rising cost of living, but just to pin down some numbers to this, there are currently 19 million college students in the United States. Additionally, there are 6.5 million young adults living with roommates. Nobody does group economics better than college students, and being a roommate kind of means that you're forced to kind of engage with that sort of living. The issue arises that there isn't one comprehensive application that everyone uses and everyone likes to solve these kind of peer-to-peer transactions, which is where Divvy steps in. Divvy is a mobile app designed to handle group expenses. It is a continuously running ledger between groups of people. How Divvy works, tying this back to the earlier example, Sam and I both owed Aiden $20 for the restaurant. Aiden and Sam both owed me $20 for the movie tickets. Using Divvy, we could scan receipts and see an itemized list of everything that was paid, and it was a lot easier to section out who owes who what, and we just found out that Aiden and I, our balances canceled out, so we didn't have to do anything. It was only Sam that owed us, right? In that instance, Divvy saved us time. That is an example of what that exact night looked like based off of screenshots. You have the groups tab on the left where you can see who you're engaging with and what requests have been made. In the middle, you have the request tab where you can scan receipts and it itemizes the expenses, so it's easier to divvy out. And then you have the group tab, or the profile tab, sorry, where you can see what you have done and who you've engaged with. At Divvy, we want to lower the barrier to entry. Paywalls, even though they may be small, are still walls, and we want people to download Divvy. Therefore, Divvy will be free to download on all the app stores, and it will have free basic functionality. Anybody can use Divvy, and anyone can join the continuously running ledger. Our primary revenue stream would be through transaction fees applied to in-app payments. Currently, we have identified the 2 biggest competitors in this peer-to-peer transaction market as being Splitwise and Venmo groups. Splitwise has a lot of 1-star reviews on the App Store. Not a lot of people like it. And Venmo groups hasn't really broken into the market. Many people know Venmo, but they don't know Venmo groups. And as you can see, neither Splitwise nor Venmo groups have half the features that Divvy is offering. With Venmo groups, you can't even scan receipts. And while I can't speak for Venmo itself, Venmo groups is not an easy application to use. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. Splitwise, while you can scan receipts, does not allow you to do in-app bank transactions. You have to go outside of the app to do that. And it also is not even free. You have to pay for less features, and neither Splitwise nor Venmo groups have chat features. You can't message people within the app, meaning that neither of those two apps compare to what Divvy can offer. Divvy is taking the best of Splitwise and Venmo groups and combining it into one sleek and easy-to-use application. Since our initial seed round funding, we have sectioned off $1,000 for business expenses and $4,000 for marketing. We want to pursue an aggressive marketing campaign. Think of Divvy almost like chain migration. Whenever one person downloads Divvy, they are incentivized to get other people to join the app alongside with them to engage in that aforementioned group economics. What we've achieved since that initial seed round funding is that we have gotten the app ready for download right now on the App Store. We have made a website, go check us out at divvyapp.com, and we have set forth an initial ad campaign to target 200 new users. As of right now, we have 35 downloads. They have made 40 groups and recorded about 50 payments. What we will do with this final round of funding is that we're going to maintain that aggressive marketing campaign, getting in touch with a marketing firm and trying to target as many people as we can, primarily through social media, such as like Reddit, TikTok, and Instagram. And we're also going to section off $5,000 for growth challenges. Divvy is a new app, and getting a lot of new users early on can mean that there can be some growing pains. We just need to be ready for that. By the end of this month, we are going to have the app not only available on the App Store, but on the Google Play Store as well. And we're going to continue rolling out features with the express deadline of the end of this year as having everything as advertised ready. That includes chat features, push notifications, and in-app transactions. A month later, at the start of the next year, we are going to get in touch with a marketing firm and initiate that aggressive marketing campaign so that by the end of next year, we will have amassed 50,000 new users. Our projected revenue from those in-app transaction fees is estimated to be about 50 cents of monthly profit per user. This is in line with the industry standard set by Venmo. So with that projected 50,000 users, there would be $300,000 amassed in gross profit by the end of 2026. And I know that we can do this because our team is very technically capable. In 2024, those three guys on the left engaged in a UTSA hackathon where they had to compete in software development. And out of the 200 students that were at that competition, and out of the 80 different projects presented, these three guys and Divvy got first place. They blew it out of the water. Koitron is a Stumberg alum. He actually won Stumberg last year. Sam Cohen is a Trinity alum, and he has been a backend engineer, a professional backend engineer for a year now. Aiden Seibel is a proven mobile app developer, now having 2 apps ready for download on the App Store before he's even graduated. And I'm a wonderful marketing manager. I'm the editor-in-chief. I'm the editor-in-chief of my university's literary magazine, and I have a lot of experience getting people to work towards a common goal and meeting deadlines. We are the best that Trinity has to offer. As you can see behind me, there is a QR code for the Divvy app website. If any of you are interested, should check it out. Otherwise, my name is Martine. Along with Sam Cohen, we will now be answering any questions. And I'd like to thank you all so much for your time.
I'll go first. Thanks, guys. Good presentation. You're pretty bold, but Venmo is a pretty big company to take on. Just curious, as you think about that as your competitor, how do you go after that? And then the second question is, given the industry you're in, I didn't see anything around regulatory. How are you handling the regulatory that comes with payment processing?
Yeah, so to go after the first question, Venmo is definitely big, definitely scary. However, we are targeting a smart market segment. We're looking at, again, the group economic side of things. Venmo is primarily one-to-one peer-to-peer transactions and also working with businesses. We are looking more for that B2C relationship right now, And we're looking at, again, splitting group expenses and lessening the burden that comes with group economics. So by doing that really, really well and getting our name synonymous out there with the same way that Venmo is synonymous with peer-to-peer transactions, one-to-one transactions, we think that we can take that market over. So as for the second question, I am the primary backend developer and CEO, CTO lead on that. And the choice of technologies that we have, so utilizing a safe, secure language on the back end, as well as utilizing industry standard AWS and Stripe for payment platforms and user information storage, as well as multi-factor authentication and one-time password codes upon initial login, help users confirm their identity and ensure that we are keeping user data safe and offloading a lot of the initial regulatory expenses to those external sources that we're utilizing.
I have a question. I went to the App Store and I downloaded the app. I think it's your app, but the problem that I have is there's two or three apps named Divvy and none that match that logo. So now I'm confused as if I downloaded the right app.
Okay. So shout out, we are Divvy Payments. This is definitely something that we have looked into, and we are going to work on building up our search engine optimization and getting to be the top of that list. Because while the other Divvy apps that are currently out there do exist and are currently a little bit higher on the App Store than we are going to work to build up our name brand, get people to recognize us by going through things like our QR codes and our websites.
So if I downloaded the app, are you telling me I downloaded the wrong app? Probably.
It
had 15 downloads so far, I think.
15 downloads? I'm not sure. The App Store
Okay,
is a little
well,
bit
I thought the logo, does your logo match your app on the App Store?
It should, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, absolutely.
Hi, I have a question about your CAC to LTV ratio. It's never been more expensive to acquire customers than it is now, and if that's going to be one of your main tools for customer acquisition to bring new customers in, and given how long they're going to stay with you on this monthly subscription, do you anticipate them aging out, right? Because this is great if you're hanging out with a group of your friends, but I'm old, so I don't hang out with friends. I just work, and so so just curious if you factored that in, this kind of CAC to LTV ratio.
Yeah.
And sorry, part two, it's a totally separate question. Let's say I was young and I was splitting, the bill with my friends. How do I then? Are we connecting our bank accounts, or how are we paying each other through the app? Sorry if I missed that in the presentation.
Nope, all good. So to answer the first question, we are planning on acquiring customers, again, through our ad campaigns, through word of mouth, and then, like Martine said earlier, we are able to get a lot of natural growth because one person downloading the app, it is hard to do group economics without a group. So people are incentivized to invite others to the application. And again, you're not limited to just a singular group of people. We're also going to have one-off and one-time payments. So in case you do go out with a different group who may not be a long-running group, you also have the ability to invite new users to Divvy, just to do a one-off payment, which will help us, accrue users and then also be able to retain users in case, the situation arises where people are going to need those one-time, one-off group payments and group splittings. And then could you run me the second question there? Kind of rambled for a couple seconds there.
Are we connecting our bank accounts? How are we all bought a pizza together and went to the movies. How are you paying me back in the app?
Yes, so you are going to provide the necessary account information. Right now we are utilizing Stripe, so putting in bank information to that, which Stripe will handle the regulatory side of that for us. And the nice part about Divvy is that we are totally free to use, so using the running ledger functionality, you don't actually have to put in your bank account information until you are ready to settle up with someone.
My son uses Splitwise and told me he hates it.
Good.
What do you think they get? I mean, it's true. What do you think they get so wrong?
So, Splitwise, I also downloaded Splitwise and hated it. I downloaded it and that was the extent of what I did because they make you pay upfront for things. So they say, hey, cool, you can make a group, but if you want to pay someone back or you want to scan a receipt or anything like that, you actually have to pay Splitwise to unlock those functionality, unlock that functionality. Again, we're attacking it from a free to use functionality. We want people to download the app, we want them to use it, and we want it to be all in one and encompassing so that everyone is encouraged to use it. Thank you for your questions.
Hello, we are Handy Door, and we are providing a solution that opens doors for those with limited mobility, giving them safety, simplicity, and independence. Now, a couple of years ago, I might have gotten into a slight fender bender. During this accident, I broke my femur and I had to have my hand reconstructed. In my rehab process, I had to use a wheelchair, a walker, and a cane. I found that it was extremely difficult to do simple tasks in my home, such as opening and closing doors. When I was confined to my room, it gave me time to think, who else has this problem? Now, I want to introduce you to our good friend Betty. We met Betty this last summer at an independent living facility. She was telling us how she has severe vertigo and partial blindness. When we asked her more, she was telling us about how it is extremely difficult for her to move in and around her home. As you can see, she has to put her walker to the side, lean across the door frame, and then open up her door. Now, existing solutions do exist, but they come in the form of commercial door openers. These products cost between $2,000 and $3,000. They require complex installation and more often than not professional installation, adding on to that already high cost. They're extremely bulky and unattractive in design as they were specifically built for commercial spaces. And lastly, they leave lasting home damages as they have to be drilled and bolted into the door frame in order to work, making it a non-suitable option for those who rent. But that's where Handy Door comes in. Handy Door is a small patented device that mounts on the bottom edge of your door, allowing you to open and close your door with just the push of a button.
And Daniel, this is the device you just described, correct?
Yes, sir. Handy Door has a multitude of advantages. The first one being its cost efficiency. Our product costs just $300 per unit. Installation is as simple as putting on the adhesive backing and attaching the simple clamp. It is small and compact in design as it was specifically made for residential spaces. And lastly, it leaves zero lasting damages to the door itself, making it a renter-friendly option.
So now that we know what the product does, let's take a look at who we're building this for. So our primary target customers are mobility device users, and through research we found several key characteristics that indicate just how much these individuals can benefit from Handy Door. So these individuals rely on walking aids due to limited mobility, and these can be from factors like age or disability. They also live in residential spaces, so they either live alone at home or in independent living facilities. They also could use assistance, whether that's moving around the house or doing everyday tasks. And then lastly, one of the biggest challenges they face is something that most of us take for granted, which is simply entering and leaving the home. This means that moving around a door is not only difficult, but a risk as well. And that's exactly the problem Handy Door is designed to solve. So with our target customers in mind, we wanted to understand just how many people are out there truly facing the same problem. Across the United States, there are around 41 million adults who have a mobility disability. If we zoom in closer to home here in Texas, there are nearly 3.8 million. And if we focus even further, there are nearly 1 million Texans who have an independent living difficulty on top of their mobility challenges. And this just goes to show that there's a very large and real population of people out there that could benefit from Handy Door.
Now, on to our sales channels. For our first 500 units, we want to acquire our sales through in-person demonstrations. Through research, we found that a product like Handy Door needs to be put in the hands of our initial users to gain that initial trust. When we move on closer to our 1,000-unit sales goal, we will transfer off to online sales and retail partnerships. Initial retail partnerships will look like local mobility stores here in the San Antonio area, and then we plan to get into big box stores such as Best Buy, as they have a trusted installation system already built into their customer base. Now, currently it is costing us $350 per unit to produce. This is purely due to the fact that we're using off-the-shelf branded robotics components. After talking with some potential manufacturers, we believe we can get our cost of production at scale down to just $40 per unit. At 1,000 units produced and a selling price of $300 per unit, that leaves us with a gross profit of $260 per unit or a gross margin of 87%.
And with that in mind, we have a graph here showing our projected revenue and annual goals over the next 3 years. So in 2026, we aim to sell 500 units, which will mark our first year of production in-house. In 2027, we aim to double that goal to 1,000 units, which is when we'll establish a manufacturing partnership. And then finally, by 2028, we aim to triple that output to 3,000 units. This is going to push us to nearly $1 million in revenue. So where exactly are we with Handy Door, and where do we plan on going from here? So earlier this year, we earned $5,000 in seed round funding, and we've used that towards building a prototype and securing legal and IP protection. So right now we have an LLC, a website domain, and we also have a provisional patent and trademark pending as well. With the $25,000 from the final round of Stumberg, we plan on using that towards launching a pilot program with an independent living facility that showed interest past summer. Doing so will require us to build more prototypes at no cost to the facility, but in return we'll gain valuable information that will allow us to improve and iterate based on customer feedback. And then finally, as we prepare for market launch, we plan on establishing a manufacturing partnership, which we expect to be the most costly. Now to build Handy Door, we put together a team of very talented individuals.
My name is Nathaniel Troxel. I'm the founder. I have a finance and entrepreneurship background.
I'm Xavier Huerta. I'm the co-founder. I'm studying business analytics and entrepreneurship as well. We have Cole Conway, who is a contributor handling the software side of things to ensure the product is secure and user-friendly. We have Elevate Systems, who is an engineering firm here in San Antonio. We've been working with them, and they've helped us lay the foundation for our prototype design. We have Loic Gowland, who is a former SpaceX engineer. He's been taking that design and helping us in the process of building our physical prototype. And then finally, we have Riley Troxel, who is another contributor, and she's coming up with strategies to help us increase our brand awareness. And now we have a short video from our friends at the assisted living facility.
Well, I wouldn't run into the doorway, for one thing, so that all I have to worry about is where I am in relation to the door. I don't have to worry about the door not opening or coming back on me.
Oh goodness, my husband used one for a while, and of course I always opened the door for him because he really couldn't.
Well, innovations that are helpful to seniors, we are glad to see it.
Oh, a godsend for people that need it.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you.
Is it made domestically? Or, because I'm just concerned about tariffs. Like, is your supply chain here in the United States?
So right now we are taking products from majority coming from Rev Robotics, which some of the components does take from overseas. But we plan when we get to our manufacturing stage, it'll be all here in San Antonio.
Awesome. And then how does it charge? Did I miss that? How does it, you press a button and the door opens, but does it ever run out of juice?
Yes, ma'am. So we have a charging port on the top of it, and that'll be able to power it for, we believe, about a month or two. Yes, ma'am.
Just curious what reimbursement options there are for a medical device or a disability device like this.
Yeah, fantastic question. So we've been working with insurance companies to see what we can get covered. The problem with that is that has to be deemed medically necessary. So they said there is potential for us to work with them in the future, but again, it has to be deemed medically necessary for the individual.
So I think this is an amazing idea. I was wondering, as far as your prototype, what sort of engineering analysis or feasibility analysis have you done, and have you tested this on different doors? You know, because I know some may be harder to open, some may be heavier. What sort of testing have you done with your prototype?
Yeah, again, fantastic question. So we want our product to work on every single door that there is. We have implemented components such as suspension, and we have taken the torque. We've converted the torque that it needs to hold the heaviest door. So we're taking all of that into account when we buy the products that we're using to build Handy Door.
Have you been able to test it on anything yet?
No, ma'am.
Okay, just wondering.
Where's the button that you push? I couldn't figure that out.
Yeah, so it's going to be a remote button that you can attach to your walker or wheelchair. So it'll be remote, and you just push it kind of like a garage door opener, and then the door will open for you.
Great, thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
If Blue
it Bluetooth or radioactive or what?
Infrared.
Infrared or like So right now we're working with radio frequency, but the components that we're using have Bluetooth and Wi-Fi capabilities, so we can implement those in the future as well for more complex operating systems.
How heavy a door can it open?
Right now, pretty heavy. So we're up to around 300 pounds of door, just because we're using such a robust motor. We think we can scale that back, and that'll save us on some size in the future, so we can make our component a little bit smaller. But again, we'd like it to fit all types of doors.
How did you guys decide on the price point?
Yeah, you want to click to that? Yeah. So we did customer interviews, and we did 112, and we gauged on where their willingness to pay is. We found that majority was at around $300, plus or minus $50, leaning towards the $350 side. Thanks. Of course.
Do you envision being self-installed?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. So initially, we're going to install the first 500 units ourselves, just so we can ensure quality. But after that, yes, it will be self-installed, and then, like we said, Best Buy has an installation service that we hope to utilize. Yes, sir.
I just want to say I think you could sell more than you projected.
We appreciate that. All right, thank you guys. Thank you.
been so far? We're about to open our last venture of the evening, but before we do, there are a couple of announcements I want to share. We will see you tomorrow at San Antonio Startup Week, where my classmate and fellow econ major, Daniel Lebetsky, founder and CEO of Kind and one of the sharks on Shark Tank, will be delivering a keynote at the Embassy Suites Riverwalk. At the Embassy Suites Riverwalk on Houston Street. The doors open at 10 a.m. and he will be speaking at 11. Now, inspired by what you saw here tonight, especially if you're a Trinity student, because the Stumberg Venture Competition seed round applications are now opening. That's sooner than they've ever been. They are now open. And so we give everyone a moment to scan that so that you can enter your team in competition tomorrow. That's what I thought. The deadline to apply is December 1st. So Tigers, do not delay in forming your team and submitting your application. And if you're looking for teammates for your venture or your budding idea, or you want to hone your skills while joining a startup team, join Trinity Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship for the Meet Your Co-Founder Mixer on November 6th from 5 to 6:30. This is a low-pressure way to connect with other creative, ambitious students from Trinity, Incarnate Word, and St. Mary's University. All majors are welcome, and most importantly, free food and drinks. Now let's hear from our final venture of the evening, Virtue.
Hi everyone, I'm Bickley.
And my name is Gabby, and we're here with Team Virtue, where we help match high school students with colleges and universities. So let's go back in time a little bit. Like a lot of high school students, I began my college search my junior year of high school, and it was super exciting. I had the opportunity to fly up to the University of Washington and see the cherry blossoms bloom. I flew to Dallas, and I fell in love with the campus at Southern Methodist. And of course, I came down to San Antonio, and I said hi to Leroy. But like a lot of high school students, I was really, really overwhelmed. Sorting through the data that's online, trying to figure out which universities were worth the time and the money to actually travel to in person and visit was really difficult. What I needed on my search was personalization. I was extremely fortunate and I had a really strong support network. I had college counselors, I had parents that would help me do research, and in my case specifically, student life was what made me fall in love with my university. I saw beyond just being a student. I saw being a Tiger here at Trinity meant being a part of a larger community. So of course, pause up.
And for those students who aren't as fortunate to have the personalization offered by college counselors or to be able to travel all the way from California to Texas, what they need is Virtue. Virtue matches high school students with colleges using a design based on modern dating apps. Raise your hand if you ever used a dating app here. Oh, we actually have some people. Well, I was prepared to say, if for those of you who are too shy to raise your hand, then I'm assuming that you're familiar with the concept of swiping left and right on the app. It's the same concept here. High school students can swipe left and right on our app to match with colleges. And just like how there are dating profiles, each college has their own profile, except these are created by college students. Who better to speak about the college experience than the students who have gone through it themselves? And to add in that touch of personalization, we're continuing to work on our recommendation engine, which will suggest colleges to high school students based on their interests and based on their preferences as read by the app. So together, with having a design based on dating apps, data from college students, and a recommendation engine, Virtue represents an app that is built for students by students. Judges, please take this time to open those lovely devices in front of you. They're not for you to keep, and hopefully there are no embarrassing notifications. The Virtue app should pop up, and for everyone else, please follow along the video to watch the features.
You can swipe right on colleges that you like and left on the ones that you don't like. To see more information, click this white arrow here. An overview using AI prompting will show at the top, as well as location and highlights. The reviews below can be categorized into the different sections here. We also have our search section here, as well as our college lists section, where you can see the colleges that you've liked by clicking the thumbs up, and the ones that you didn't like by pressing the X. Clicking on any of the college profiles will show you its information once again.
Judges, please feel free to continue exploring through the app, get familiar, and while you're doing that, I'll explain to you what the recommendation part of the app will look like. Like I mentioned, we're continuing to develop it, and while the long-term solution is creating an algorithm, the first step to it is what we call interest tracking quizzes. They're basically like BuzzFeed quizzes, if you've ever done those before. They're short, fun quizzes that help you learn more about what your preferences are when looking for a college. So this student, for example, is interested in going to a college where there's a big football culture and being in an urban city. But what have our users said so far about the app? We tested the app across various cities in Texas, and overall, with high school and college student input, the feedback was positive. While they were testing the app, we also got live feedback from them in terms of additions to make to the app. One student said that we should expand the section of college reviews to not just talk about social life, but also academics, housing life. One student said that they found it extremely valuable to understand what that student life is like beyond just the statistics that are already online.
Furthermore, who are the students and users that are going to be using this app? So after conducting customer discovery interviews, we found that generally our interviewees fell into two camps. First of all, we have Emma. She's your aspirational achiever. She's that A+ student that's running from speech and debate to chess club to soccer practice. She's always on the go, and because of that, she needs help sorting through schools. On the other end, we have Josh. He's the first-gen student. He's the first person in his family to go through this process, and he has limited resources and support. We're here to help Josh begin that journey. Students like Josh are currently using applications such as Naviance and Niche, which have that nationwide reach but really lack in these other categories. Loper, which is our closest competitor, has a similar swipe-based function, but they really focus on just the academic side. Virtue is there for that holistic overview. Again, what does it mean to attend this university? And who is that person that you're going to become by attending these universities?
Like shown on the previous slide, one other thing that makes Virtue more unique is that aspect of personalization, of helping a college student navigate that college search journey in accordance to what they're looking for. That recommendation engine will be a part of our premium version, which will be our initial revenue stream. That premium version will also include additional visibility to college reviews, and so students who engage in the basic premium version will only get to see a partial view of that. As we continue to establish our user base, and once we've done that for a couple of years, our second stream of revenue will come via universities, where we'll be selling app usage data. This is anonymized data, we're not selling their identities, that has to do with behavioral insights. How many times does a student go from disliking a school to liking it? Sentiment trends. What have students said about schools that have higher school spirit versus those with lesser school spirit? And demographic insights. As a whole, what do Texas high school students say are their preferences when looking into a college? And a little bit about our team and why we are more than capable to bring this business forward. We are a female-founded company, and I myself recently graduated from Trinity in May as an engineering science major. I'm currently working up in Austin at a well-known tech firm within their data governance team. My role is customer-facing, and I get to understand how the data products we create a business impact in other applications. So I get to see how that raw data starts at the data source, gets validated, refined, and productized into an ingestible product. So I get to be privy to the governance side, the validation side, and how that gets to be ingested by applications.
On my end, I'm a marketing and communication double major here at Trinity with a lot of experience in branding and community outreach, especially on that nonprofit side. So I'm really excited to step into this role on the business end. And of course, we have Aiden Blancas, who is our lead developer. He is an engineering science major, formerly computer science, with extensive iOS application development experience. Working closely with Aiden coming out of that seed round, we focused a lot on app development, but now with $25,000, we're shifting our focus towards data acquisition,
Following this final round, we're continuing conversations with other ed tech companies within the space who have already collected and validated the information that we're looking to purchase.
On the business side, I'm extremely excited to start rolling out some of our piloting program, which we're currently in talks with local high schools, getting that app in the hands of high school students that can help us with refinement, and beyond that, expanding beyond San Antonio. So with that in mind, thank you very much for your time, and we're welcome to any and all questions you may have.
I love this. If you want, I have 3 juniors in high school right now, so they are happy, and I'm happy to have them beta test this.
Yes, we would love that.
One of my questions that I had was just as far as acquiring these data sets and getting the backend infrastructure to support that performance and analytics. how much time and money is that going to take you?
A majority of our funding will go to purchasing those data sets, and as I mentioned, we're in conversations with other companies who have done that, so they're not only there to help us purchase it, but also for guidance regarding that. You asked about the time and the money aspect, correct? Okay, time and money. So with our developer that already created our app, actually just hitting the app store today, he's already created the back end of our database. And so that is ready to house data. Of course, with the state of the data that we get, depending on how clean and validated it is, that can change as well. But with that, that's where I also come into play with my wonderful job, my 9 to 5. If I don't know the answer on how to process that data, validate it, store it, I have a connection within my 50-person team where someone knows the answer.
Thank you.
So I have a couple of questions. One is, do you plan on partnering with the universities at all in terms of getting financial resources, to build your revenue? Because I didn't really see a revenue stream in your presentation, so that would be one question. In terms of, when I mean revenue stream, what are you going to charge the end user? Is it a monthly subscription fee? Is it a one-time fee? I mean, they've got a window of time that they're going to be a college student, so.
Yes. I don't want to be flipping through the slides too much, but we do have another slide that does talk about how we're collecting revenue from users. So we will have a freemium version rolled out, as I mentioned. Premium version, that is a monthly subscription. And depending on how the app develops, we consider doing a lifetime subscription, considering the seasonality of the product. Most students will typically use it, let's just say at the end of their junior year, beginning of their senior year, where that application season is really heavy. So the two that we're looking at are the monthly subscription, which we're considering a value of about $5, which is comparable to other companies' products within the edtech space. Also very comparable to like a cup of coffee that someone gets every day. Instead of that, you get a monthly subscription. And did I answer the rest of your question?
Yeah, I have one more. What about, you're not nationwide. So if I type in a school that maybe my child's interested in going to, but you don't have it, am I missing the boat somewhere? Like, is your long-term plan to be in all the states?
Yes.
Or why is it limited, and will that inhibit your ability to really make this product what it should be?
At this moment, yes, it does inhibit the ability to create that outreach, but that's where purchasing the data set comes in. So with the data that you saw on the apps today, that's through our ability to reach out to other students across the nation, which is very limited. But with purchasing the data set, this is data that's already been surveyed from universities. So one, it's not just the students that want to be surveyed. It's not just getting that polarized data. It's more neutral. Two, with these surveys, since they're widespread, it's capturing all of the different corners of the US that we can't capture, so that we do have a more fulfilled database as you saw today.
Great presentation. You guys are in my world that I think about every day, so I have lots of questions, and most I'll save for the reception. But what are you planning to charge universities for this service?
We've considered 3 different options here. So we can charge them per student profile. So Trinity has about 2,500, well, not during Trinity, let's say a high school in Texas. I came from a big one, 2,000, 3,000 students. We can charge them based on that. Depending on what they're looking for, if they're just looking for raw data, we can do an annual data subscription. We'll collect that raw data, we'll clean it up for them, but beyond that, they can analyze it however they want to. On top of that, we can add customization in terms of dashboards. So we'll take that data, we'll do the analytics, we'll provide those insights and make it easier on the colleges.
And why not sell them the actual names of the students?
Because it's anonymized data. The idea is that they get an overall idea of what students are saying in high schools across the nation based on different interests. In terms of the names of the students, that's not something we've considered. We have looked into the GDPR and like the COPPA, FERPA regulations in terms of making it anonymized. I would say that in terms of giving out that information, we would have to find a compelling reason to do that.
I would say also jumping in there is that's really with our company is one of our brand values is trust, and we want our users to trust us. And if they know that we're selling their names off, that's why we're just sticking at anonymized data, and maybe that's an opportunity that we've missed, but that's something that we're willing to do to continue to have a good relationship with our users so they can trust us. Thank you very much.
action while the judges are contemplating. For those interested, you can find the judging criteria being used in tonight's event program. And while the judges decide our winners, you can now choose to vote for the venture you believe should receive a little extra love. The team with the highest number of votes will receive bragging rights. A plaque, this beautiful plaque, and a $500 prize. So you will have about 1 minute to get those phones out and scan the QR code right now. Actually don't, because I'm changing the slide. There's 2 steps. When you get to the first one, press skip. And at the second one, you can enter your name or press skip to remain anonymous. So now, scan the QR code and vote for your fan favorite. You'll have about 60 seconds. Their voting for the fan favorite. So let's give a warm welcome to the Chief Financial Officer at Frost Bank and Trinity parent, Dan Geddes, here to help us honor the fan favorite award winner.
Actually, I'm actually just a Trinity alum. So unfortunately, not a Trinity parent, and maybe I get a transfer here. I wouldn't mind it. Well, as a company that supports small business, one, I just want to say thank you, and I'm so optimistic. Congratulations to all of you. But man, I'm just optimistic about the future of our city, and really just the ecosystem that we're creating here in San Antonio, but specifically at Trinity University, so thank you. So I get to announce the winner. And the winner of the Stumberg Venture Competition fan favorite is Handy Door.
Trinity's own Vice President and Provost, Megan Mustaine.
I've got someone shout. Hang on one sec. One of these work.
Okay, awesome. All right, so I've got a friend here to help me do a little something, but before we do that, I want to take just a minute to recognize all of our teams. Y'all are amazing. Seriously, I and all of us here at Trinity are so proud of you. Watching the growth between the seed round competition and now, I can see all that you have learned. I can see what maybe not the specifics of, but I can see the failures and what you've learned from them. I was so impressed with your presentations tonight. Honestly, this is going to be a really, really hard one, so I'm super curious as to how this turns out. I also want to recognize the faculty and staff, both in the Center for Entrepreneurship and across campus, who have helped to mentor and guide our teams. Thank you so much. Please give them a hand. Thank you for that. I'd like to thank our venture mentors folks. Seriously, the guidance that you give our students throughout the accelerator, it's priceless. So actually, students, can you help me thank the mentors? And of course, I'd like to thank our donors. Sorry, I'm standing in front of one of the important ones.
It's okay.
Yeah. So the Stumberg family and the Stumberg Foundation for the gift that helped endow this competition. I am so grateful to you and to your whole family for what this has become and what it's becoming. So thank you, Herb and family. We also have other sponsors here. You've already heard from Frost Bank. Thank you, Frost. Thank you, Geekdom. Thank you, everyone, for helping to make this this competition possible. And now, Herb, you ready for this? Okay. So Herb Stumberg is a Trinity alum. He's a trustee emeritus here at Trinity University, and I am grateful to count him as a good friend to Trinity and myself. We are about to award the final prize. So, Herb. Oh, no, yeah, you can have that.
Really terrible choreographing.
Yeah, no, we practiced.
The great setup to this was Dawn earlier mentioning that 25,000 really doesn't go as far as it should. It's something that my brother and I, when we started, thought would be great. And is Craig Crow back there? That's our chief investment officer. Yeah, who has been an inspiration to making this number a little bit different, along with Dan. Would the Frost Bank team stand up, please? Susie. Because they too recognized that the number wasn't enough. And my brother and I, independent of their kind gift, felt that way. And to honor our father, who was such a great inspiration to each of us.
tonight is that I didn't have to stand in the confetti. But first off, another extraordinary round of applause for the Stumberg family. It's not over yet. Let's continue the celebration right outside in the reception area where we have more refreshments, where you can talk to all of our teams and learn more about entrepreneurship at Trinity. So thank you for joining us to celebrate 10 years of the Stumberg competition, of Tiger innovation, and for championing the entrepreneurial spirit here at Trinity.